Oh, my darling, where have you been? You're on my mind again.
I've been traveling. You left me long ago. You said another day and another show.
Please forgive me. It's lonely on the run. Never gonna catch the sun.
You left me broken. We were young and so in love. Did the road have to be so rough?
Gotta get back home and make things right. I'm tired of this endless climb, hills and hard times. Can't take too much more of these hills and hard times.
Losing my faith. Living by the weight of life. I don't know what's wrong, what's right.
Evil growing, it's getting best of us. I lost everything that I trust.
Get back home and make things right.
Tired of this endless climb, hills and hard times. Can't take too much more of these hills and hard times. There's a light in the sky, leads us back to you. There were days that I was dying too. So we follow the light, searching day and night. Gotta get back home and make things right. I'm tired of this endless climb, hills and hard times. Can't take too much more of these hills and hard times. I'm tired of this endless climb, hills and hard times. Can't take too much more of these hills and hard times. Can't take too much more of these hills and hard times. Hills and hard times. Hills and hard times.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Ryan Vallett, play-by-play voice of Bowling Green Falcon Hockey and the social media director of the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. And you're listening to the home of BGRSO's coverage of Falcon Sports right here on Falcon Radio. Buzzer beaters, game-winning drives, and walk-off wins. You know what that means. It's for the win. Right here, right now, on 88.1 FM WBGU. Now, here are your hosts, David Bray and Brendan Hall.
Waits in the wizard, standing in the snow. Now I don't see him where he goes. Thunder and lightning, running through a church.
lungs letting out all the air that was green. Maybe that's why this gets harder as I become less young. Writing therapy songs, see I never quite passed a basic psychology class. Down the NYC said, boys, you got a blood clot, and that's why we thought you were free, but that lie will rot you. You took yourself down to the end and some breath, feeding thought, feeding hate, and so it's just in reality. Listen to me, you're a psycho, bro. And your head's been on backwards and upside down. You're a psycho, bro. But there's a bit of you in all of us. This state of mind is not your identity. No, you're not done. But the warmth of the sun heals your brain and your lungs. In this moment you've won. The bad blood will still run. So remember, my friends, how you reclaim your soul from the storms.
First they call your wallet, kicking.
And a selection of home-baked goods. Grounds for Thought, located. Community sponsorship for WBGU programming is brought to you by Grounds for Thought, a local coffee shop offering vintage books, vinyl, comics, and a selection of home-baked goods. Grounds for Thought, located at 174 South Main Street, Bowling Green, Ohio.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
You're listening to Falcon Radio on HD2, WBGU 88.1, Bowling Green, Ohio.
A man walks down the street. He said,
And welcome into further review for today on this Friday, January, not February yet, Friday, January 26th.
It is January 26th, 2018. Welcome into the Cooling Center Studios here at Falcon Radio. Further review with myself, Donovan Mann, Jacob Seidel, who is struggling intensely, and I'm questioning whether or not he should be even on the board at this point. Adam is over this way. I turned his mic on, and we've got a special guest in the studio today as well, if Jacob will turn his mic on.
Yes, this is Avery. I forgot your Avery Collins? Avery Collins. He's a
his mic on.
His mic was on. I thought I turned it on.
Cool.
He is a media production major. He's a good friend of ours looking to get into the RSO, so he's shadowing today. Say hi, Avery.
How's it going?
Avery, tell us a little bit about
Jacob.
you. Anyway, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Major, year, all that special stuff.
Well, I am a... Sorry, it's weird getting used to this. I've actually never been in a studio before. I'm a second-year media production major here at Bowling Green State University. I am involved in a few on-campus groups. I'm actually a part of the Bleacher Creatures. We kind of lead the hockey student section, as well as campus outreach and H2O Church. Do a few things with them as well.
The Bleacher Creatures, I swear, are like the best sports-going group as far as any of them, because hockey is incredibly important to BGSU.
Well, I know I can only speak for myself here, but I know that we're all appreciative of all the support that we get and all that we do to help the hockey team.
I actually went to my first hockey game last Friday. Yeah, last Friday. By the way, Jacob, we're still plugged into the thing, so that may not have been why you were able to hear audio, because I'm hearing my us on a delay through my headset.
Yeah, I am too.
Because your phone is plugged into the...
Oh!
Jacob is struggling a lot.
Sorry, we had a bit of a... My computer is...
These are really good mics.
They are very good.
Yeah,
mics.
sorry, my computer has
new
been
studio.
bugging out the last 2 nights ever since I re-downloaded something, and we may or may not lose the stream. If you're watching us on YouTube, you actually have our radio feed today.
Awesome. Much better audio than a little bit of a tiny camera mic.
Do I need to be in the shot then?
You were in the shot.
Oh, I was?
It's
Cool.
Weird.
It's got a very wide focus.
Actually, move that way more.
All right, down to business now. We're going to start off by talking NCAA recruiting. There's a new number 1 in the recruiting board, according to 247. Ohio State has taken the number 1 spot back against Georgia. Another major movement in the top 5. Alabama fell to 6th. Miami jumped up from 8th to now 5th. So your top 5 looks like this: Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Penn State, and Miami. All possible contenders, except maybe Texas has got a way to go, I think, guys.
Who's in there? Let's see here. Oklahoma's got a little bit of a rebuilding project now that Baker Mayfield's gone. But within the Big 12, they shouldn't have much of a challenge playing those defenses there. Alabama, they've always been on top pretty much over the last 10 years.
Well, right now it's interesting that the national champions wouldn't be getting more recruits. Of course, it's not signing day yet. Ohio State jumping back up from another early commit. They've got, I think it was a 4-star, was it a 4-star defensive lineman, I think, signed up with them. They're 5-star recruits. The 2 of them they have so far are Taryn Vincent and Tyreek Johnson. One's a safety, one's a defensive tackle. Both really good. Then you've got your runner-ups in the nation. Georgia there as well. At number 2, kind of flip-flopping with Ohio State. Texas is a team that I think might actually make some splash in the Big 12 coming up, because now they're going to be in their second year under Tom Herman.
Maybe. We saw what happened in his first year.
I think also because he made a quarterback change midway through the year. He's now got that quarterback in their system. He was a freshman last year. He'll be a sophomore this year, for those of you who don't know how schooling goes.
I mean, I think Tom Herman will have a better year just because it's going to be his second year implementing a system in a Texas program that has had many coaching changes over the last 10 years, 2 different coaching changes over the last 10 years, I believe.
But also a historically successful program, too. So there's still a prestige to that Texas team.
And definitely. And I mean, but if you take a look at Tom Herman's record, first with the Buckeyes as an offensive coordinator, then as a coach at Houston. He took Houston and made them nationally ranked.
Yeah, he did. He actually had them in the conversation for playoffs. We're in a bubble here. I love that. That's one thing I love but don't love. Yeah. Hit record or hit play. The thing I love but don't love here at the Cooling Centers is you're basically, if you're in here and the tour comes through, you become like you're a fish in a tank. All right.
And then we had Van Wright giving a very special tour.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's the reason I'm here.
Nice.
Do you want to talk any more on this?
I was going to say, speaking of Ohio offensive coordinators, their current offensive coordinator, he was a co-offensive coordinator. Now I think he's they removed the co from the front of his name. Can't remember his name right now. Do you remember his name, Adam?
What?
Jacob. The Ohio State offensive coordinator. Because you were talking Tom Herman. He said offensive coordinators. Can't remember his name right now. He was offered He was offered the offensive coordinator position for the Tennessee Titans, and he turned it down. He actually said, I'm happy at Ohio State, and I'm going to stay here.
And that's great for the Buckeyes, especially after the last 2 seasons, the offense has been a bit underwhelming.
This
would be a
Kevin
word.
Wilson, that's his name. This past year, it was a lot better because I think J.T. Barrett finally decided he was going to develop more into his passing skills. Because after that Oklahoma loss, his like overall passing ability, even though it's not NFL potential at all, his passing got a lot better, got smarter. I think the overall scheme around him changed ever so slightly. But now he's got Dwayne Haskins, who's basically an entirely different player, will be probably taking over. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Burrow possibly take over. Both better throwers than they are runners. As far as prospects go, those who remain on the board, we've got the number 9 prospect according to 247. He actually was number 4. He dropped down, though. He's an offensive tackle, Nicholas Petit-Ferrier. 98 ranking, 5-star recruit. He's got warm status on 4 teams. Ohio State, which he has a 0% rate on. 58% on Florida, 16% on Alabama, 16% on Notre Dame, and then Michigan also gets an honorable mention there. Then you've got 2 defensive backs. These are 2 that are getting a lot of attention right now as we get closer and closer to signing day. Patrick Surtain and Tyson Campbell, both defensive backs, and they're from the same high school, American Heritage in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One's ranked 11th, one's ranked 12th. One's looking towards Georgia, it appears, and the other's looking towards LSU. Would be major pickups for both of them. We've also go down the list at number 19. You've got Jamar Chase looking at LSU. And then we've got Oja Griffin, a cornerback, first 4-star recruit still on the board. And then still in the top 35, we've got Isaac Taylor Stewart. Just a little bit of the recruiting situation going on there. Any final recruiting thoughts, gentlemen?
Akron is going to start jumping their way up in the top of the recruits.
As far as Mac's concerned,
yes. No, I mean nationally.
Nationally, yes.
Do you know why?
Really? Why?
They will no longer be offering Friday classes.
Akron's taking away Friday classes?
Akron is taking away Friday classes.
Can we get on board?
I know. I maybe.
Same thing.
Former President Mazie and acting President Rogers. You want to get us on that? You want to get on that?
I did not know that.
They announced it yesterday, and I'm excited. Maybe that'll happen to us next year. Please? Please?
I thought you said police. I was so concerned.
We could have a 4-hour. We should have an actual radio show, 4 hours.
We can barely survive 2.
I know.
But I know don't some upperclassmen just not have Friday classes? Aren't they scheduled that way on purpose?
Yeah, that's very possible because their Monday, Wednesday classes end up hour 15. There's a lot of reasons behind not having Friday classes.
Right.
I'm sorry, Ryan Day, that was his name, got promoted to offensive coordinator. Because Kevin Wilson, what happened to him? Because he was the pickup we got from Indiana. I don't know. Confusing reports on all this. Any Michigan thoughts over there, Adam?
I guess we're being outbribed.
You sounded so enthusiastic, Adam.
He's a full believer that there can never be anything fair. He's like, if there's money handoffs to players who aren't supposed to be getting money hands off, he fully believes it's 100% always going to be happening. His conspiracy theories, all that. That's Adam's character right there for you.
But I can kind of respect that because that behind all the politics, behind sports,
you know it.
There's stuff going on.
I'm sure there's plenty of of money handoffs, but does it really matter until when you get there? Because who cares if, yeah, you're a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. If you continue to play how you played in high school, you're going to get washed away very quickly. You have to continue to develop because college is different than high school. Just like if you're going to be a top prospect in high school or in college, but then you hit the NFL and you're like, continue to play like a college student, you're just going to get washed away.
Precisely.
It's all about your work ethics, your drive and love for the game.
Speaking of kids and football, an Illinois lawmaker announced on Thursday a proposal to ban organized tackle football for kids under the age of 12.
Under the age of 12?
Yeah.
Don't they play flag until the age of 12?
No, there's
there's
football for like elementary school kids.
Basically it's not full on tackle, but it teaches you basically the technique of tackles.
Well, I mean, the main issue here is the main issue with tackling and concussions isn't the fact that kids are getting hurt. It's the fact that coaches aren't teaching how to tackle right.
Yeah, never don't tackle with your head. Because that's number one.
Montez perfect.
Nobody's going to get a positive outcome from a tackle with the head. That's when we look at all these rules that they're creating. Those are the rules that they're trying to get rid of. They're the hits they're trying to get rid of. They don't want to continue to see people lead with their head, go after people's head. And that's when people complain about all these safety rules making people soft. No, it's not about making the league softer. It's about making the league safer.
Right, and I mean honestly, they should be teaching the Seahawk tackle to everyone. Go in with your shoulder, the old rugby style tackle. It's more effective and safer for both parties.
Colleges have started to hire people who, like linebacker coaches and tackling professionals, who are teaching now that style of tackling rugby as opposed to
exactly the rugby tackle is so much safer. I mean, rugby itself has far less concussions than football.
Well, rugby itself is probably just as physical, if not more physical, and yet you see less injuries. And now part of that has to be they don't wear as much pads, and when you don't wear as much pads, psychologically you don't think like you can just go out there and hit someone as hard as you can, and there's less of the mentality of, oh, I don't like you, I may intentionally try to hurt you. Not that I would say anybody would do that, Vontez Burfitt, but anyway, that there is a saying that the rugby tackling is a lot better.
And with that, we've reached our first break here on Further Review, Falcon Radio, and YouTube. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we'll continue our talk on NCAA football and get into the NFL. You're listening to Further Review here on Falcon Radio.
Let's take a time out to talk about educational athletics. That means the school sports are an extension of the classroom. Student-athletes earn the privilege of participation in sports by succeeding during the school day first, before they put on the team uniform after. Student-athletes prove that with better attendance records, higher GPAs, and fewer discipline issues than non-student athletes. That's what it means to be a part of the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
On Friday, January 26th, the BGSU hockey team will travel to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to face the Lake Superior State Lakers in WCHA action. The Lakers faced the Falcons earlier this season on November 10th and 11th, and the Falcons won one game and tied the other. Join Ryan Vallon for the pregame coverage show at 6:37 p.m. and the play-by-play at 7:07 on your flagship home for BGSU hockey, 88.1 FM, WBGU, and the Falcon Radio Network.
This is Jay Crawford, former ESPN SportsCenter anchor and former member of BGRSO. And you're listening to 88.1 FM, WBGU HD1 and HD2, broadcasting more games than any other student-run organization in the country.
Again, it is Further Review, starring myself, Adam Gaw, Jacob Seidel, Donovan Mann, and special guest
Avery Collins.
How you doing?
Just phenomenal.
How you doing?
we said that we were going to continue with college football before the break, but we decided now we're going to move not to the NFL, but the apparently newly rebooted XFL. Vince McMahon's XFL.
Those of you who might think of the XFL, it had one season back in 2001.
Fun fact, it actually has a 4.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
What?
It also has a 5.4 out of 10 on TV.com.
Yeah, you're on the same.
And 79% like this. It's a TV show, apparently.
Well, I mean, originally it was. Like, it was supposed to be a show like WWE.
I mean, yeah, that guy who created WWE is now rebooting his XFL.
Speaking of the WWE, I know who the quarterback for the first team in the XFL is going to be.
You're stealing my stuff.
Yeah.
That I introduced.
Anyway, no, actually, well, there's already been one player who, I guess, doesn't want to stick around in Canada very long. Johnny Manziel, who is going to be playing Canadian football here very soon. He's already got a team that he was drafted by the team when in their draft.
Supplemental draft.
They traded away their current starting quarterback to create space for him. So he's probably, because the XFL is not going to come back till 2020, and it's going to be a gimmick-free XFL too. That McMahon wanted to make sure that was all pointed out, because there was a lot of different things about the XFL. There was, of course, the jerseys. You got to select their own name on the jersey as opposed to their actual name. I don't know if they'll still do that or not. There was, apparently, the cheerleaders were very controversial.
You got all these
convicts basically getting.
You got all these people on the internet writing these articles ripping this decision.
Here we go. We've got one. The new XFL is dumb as hell, but thank God it's not actually real. Posted 4 hours ago.
Wait, so it's all a hoax?
No, it's not.
I was gonna say
they don't use.
He went on ESPN and announced that he was doing it, so it better not be a hoax.
What I'm reading is
they're
on
not
ESPN.
using the correct language with this. It is real. But it's scripted.
It's not going to be scripted.
Like wrestling, right?
That's right.
The new XFL sounds nothing like the old one. Don't script it. I mean, Jacob off air was talking about possibly having it become like minor league football.
I think it's going to unintentionally become the minor league football league.
Well,
like,
it will
minor league football league.
Yes,
minor league football. Well, it will take a long time for that to happen.
I honestly think if you have players that, you're not going to have as many undrafted free agents go to the NFL, because if they can go play now in the XFL, they'll go.
The question is,
it's going to be an unaffiliated.
The question is, because obviously, if you're a first, second, third round pick, you know you're getting drafted. Even if you think you're a third round pick, you have to wait till the 7th round. You know for sure you're going to get drafted, because everybody's been telling you, the media, your agent's been saying you're going to get drafted, so we just don't know where yet.
But I mean, if you're on the fence there, if you don't think you're going to get drafted by the NFL, you wouldn't declare for the NFL draft. You declare for the XFL draft.
Well, the question becomes: can you declare for the XFL and the NFL? Because if you can do both. Because, just like you can declare for the MLB draft and the NFL draft. Maybe you can do NFL and NBA. I don't know.
But why would you want to? That's just so much work.
Well, if you declare for the XFL and you don't make it in the NFL, you can say, well, this team has my draft rights. Can I go play for them?
And if you'd like to call in and discuss anything with us today, the number to do so is 419-372-9325. Once again, that's 419-372-9325.
There's this article that says
about the phone lines are jam-packed. Let's, maybe. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't.
What happened?
I think Jake's breaking it.
Jacob, just stop.
It won't work.
What happened?
Oh, no.
Nothing. I was trying to, get the dial tone to come up on the phone to prove that no one calls in.
This one from Deadspin says XFL's criminality band, implied anti-protest rule are definitely not about race. No slurs. No, sir. No, sir. Sorry, it said no, sir. Yeah, because that was another issue was as well that they were saying, well, you're just giving a bunch of jobs to these people who didn't make it in the NFL because they were beating women, killing people, this, that, or everything else. Because that was kind of a thing. Depends on what he defines as criminality. Felony, I would say felony, probably not. Misdemeanor depends on the implement. It'd be like a normal job. If you have a felony, of course, obviously they're going to sit there and discuss, okay, what was your felony? But that makes it harder for you to get the job, obviously. If it's a misdemeanor, of course, it won't be as hard as if it were a felony in some cases, but you would still have to sit there and say, work it out with the boss, the manager, whatever. Anti-protest rules, we're not even going to get into that. I understand behind it, whether or not you agree with any of the protests.
I mean, I think we should clarify that it's not you can't protest because protesting is dumb rule. It's a rule saying people don't want to see your protest at a sporting event when it's entertainment.
Here's how ESPN said, well, the XFL means jobs, second chances, and also a warning.
Jobs.
Broadcasting jobs. Yeah. Broadcasting jobs, officiating jobs, coaching jobs.
20 jobs for broadcasters are going to open up here.
Are they going to do 20 teams?
10 teams.
Oh, yeah.
2 people, most likely, for each.
Yeah. It is important to note that, yes, so 10 teams. The Ringer says it's a bad idea. There's a lot of back and forth about this. I think if it stays true to what football is, so in other words, don't script games.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Give people second chances. People who couldn't make it in the NFL. So I'm thinking Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow.
That's why I'm thinking this is going to be a minor league type football league eventually. Because
let's not leap to.
Like I said,
it's not going to be affiliated, of course. It'd be like
it would take a long time for that to become a thing.
That's what I mean.
Because if it were to do that, technically, it would first, yes, there would have to be some sort of affiliation for that to kind of happen.
It's kind of like the NFL and the arena indoor leagues right now. Every now and then there's a player that is signed out of the arena leagues and they're not affiliated.
True enough.
The AFL used to be affiliated with the NFL, but it isn't anymore.
You would also, I think, would need more teams for that to happen because then what happened is basically what happened with the D League, even though that started as an affiliation, which is now the G League, is now basically in the G League, all the teams are getting, or every NBA team is getting a G League affiliate, whether they create their own or they sign one on.
But what I'm saying, it's not going to be affiliation based. Like none of these players, they're playing to prove to a team. It's like a practice squad, but with actual gameplay.
Have you guys ever seen an arena football game?
I'm a Cleveland Gladiators fan. I'm extremely upset they're going on hiatus for the next 2 years.
You should have seen how angry he was when the crew announced that they were going to try to move to Austin.
Oh,
I'm still salty.
Still trying.
Still salty.
But why?
You're going to move from one college football
this Danny DeVito.
to another.
I'm sorry, this Danny DeVito
Eminem ad.
Yes, it is so. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I ran onto it because I was looking for something on Twitter and I saw an ad on a video. Anyway, so I think yes, the XFL could be a good thing if it doesn't get morphed into something bad.
Right.
Which after the first attempt at it, you could say, hopefully they won't do that.
Well, here's what I think about this. I'm not so trustworthy of Vince McMahon ever since he kind of ruined the WWE when he brought this guy into town. And his name is John Cena. And it took a major downhill slide when they started shoving him down our throats.
John Cena?
He's not even with the WWE anymore, I thought.
Yeah, he is.
He is?
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know who would destroy everyone in the WWE?
Speaking of which, did you see that Sylvester Stallone? Who was it? Oh goodness! Oh, Malcolm Butler ran into Sylvester Stallone in Minnesota because I guess he was there for the media affairs in the Great American Mall, and yeah, he ran into him and said, "Bruh, I thought we had an understanding here because he's Rocky, Philadelphia. He's from he's Sylvester Stallone looks old.
He is.
I know he is.
He just filmed the new movie in the Mansfield Reformatory.
Which new movie?
Want to move into the NFL?
The Dean Scream, the movie.
Shut up. This show has already gone off the rails today. I'm sorry, Avery. This is.
Don't apologize.
This is usually.
This does not happen very often.
Usually, when it's college football season, usually we'd still be on college football, and there's
Right.
always a lot to talk about because there's always a lot of games. We'll get to NCAA basketball, even though it's not. I don't even follow NCAA basketball. There's so much going on in NCAA basketball. It's hard to watch the season out because you don't want to sit. I don't sit there and watch games all the time of people I'm not affiliated with. Yeah, it's always hard to catch your own favorite team. Anyway,
There's just so much going on with Michigan State and Louisville. Speaking of Louisville,
Louisville.
When Michigan lost,
Frankfurt.
Michigan lost to Louisville in the national championship game, right?
Right.
2013. Louisville vacated that title 2 days ago. Now Michigan doesn't get the title because the NCAA doesn't do that.
No, you don't get the title.
They don't hand it down to the runner-up.
Well, because then you would say, well, technically, this team they played in the Final Four. Well, they could have gotten it, or the Elite Eight, or the Sweet 16. Any team they would have played along the way, you could have said, well, maybe they could have beaten them. You can't. That's why you can't do that.
UCF. The real national champions.
They couldn't have beaten even Ohio State. They couldn't have even beaten Ohio State.
I know.
Even Ohio State.
Ohio State was number 5.
Even Ohio State. I will say it again, as I've said these past 3 weeks. I think looking back at it,
let alone a team that made the playoff. That's what
I said okay. Looking back at it, if I had to say there was one team that made it that didn't deserve it, it probably was actually Clemson. Yes, I say the number 1 seed. I've said this every past few weeks. I say that because look what happened against Alabama. They could not produce any offense whatsoever. Really, all year they couldn't produce that much offense. Moving on to the weather. Your half-hour weather report here at 3:29 in Bowling Green, Ohio. 51 and sunny. It was snowing a couple days ago.
It was snowing yesterday.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
The giant white fluffy things?
Yeah.
Feels like 47. Sunset will be at 5:43. We've got a wind coming out of the southwest at 14 miles per hour. Humidity's at 48%. UV index is low. Looking at Friday, today's Friday, sorry. Looking at Saturday, 60% chance of rain. 47 is your high, 30 is your low.
The day that I walked to the arena to do a game, it's going to rain.
Potentially. Sunday, partly cloudy, high 43, low 26. Monday, 29 as your high, 14 as your low, and cloudy. By the way, it's good running conditions.
Is that so, Donovan? Because according to my phone, some people think this weather is perfect. Those people are stupid.
I think this weather's fine.
Yeah, I actually really like this.
I understand.
I'm wearing t-shirt and a shorts.
I was wearing t-shirts
and a shorts.
Why are you wearing
I was
that
wearing a
to begin
t-shirt
with?
and shorts earlier, and people were looking at me like I was crazy.
Well, are they wrong?
I mean, I was only in it because I'd come back from the gym and I was still incredibly warm from working out and sweaty, so I didn't want to put on my jeans again. Nor did I want to put my coat on. Now on to the Pro Bowl. Was the skill challenges yesterday?
Yes, actually, I think.
Do we have results? Where can I find
Remember when
results
this game
for
had a little bit of value
They
to
might
it?
have been
No.
Wednesday. I remember watching it while I was at the pub.
Skills challenge.
The Black Swamp?
Yes, sir.
The Black Swamp.
Okay.
Best food on campus.
Here we go. We got the dodgeball
Am I allowed to say
contest. The
Technically not, actually.
Oh, sorry. It's all good food. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
It's very good food.
But really, though, I have absolutely no complaints about anywhere I eat. Anyway.
By the way, you turn me on. Yeah. Keep, come up with something like you can.
Okay, we've got.
Do you have like a ranch or something?
The final skills showdown results. AFC had 4 victors. NFC had 3. In the dodgeball results, the AFC lost.
What?
What?
Oh.
Oh, is this the dodgeball results?
Why are we even talking
One
about this?
second.
Because we need something to talk about.
We could talk about the conference title games.
Didn't we already do that?
No.
We didn't?
No.
Oh.
We'll wait until he gets set.
Anyway, the conference title games. You're right, Adam. My bad. Conference title games. I think one game we were expecting, or everybody was saying one game was going to be a blowout, one game was going to be very close. That became, and it was the opposite games that people were saying. Everybody was saying it was going to be a close, low-scoring game between Minnesota and Philadelphia because neither team really, they thought, could produce much offense because they're both working with backup quarterbacks.
Nick Foles balled out.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He's gotten much better. Against a strong defense, too. Minnesota was top 5 in a lot of defensive defensive categories. They were, number 2.
So we're going to delve into this NFC thing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were top... They were top 2 in the... I think in run, top in... No. Second place in pass, top in run, and like number 1 overall defensively. When it came to that stats, Case Keenum, people were saying Case Keenum ran out of luck. I'm actually very interested to see how this game would have gone if it would have been the Saints playing the Eagles instead.
I think if the Saints played the Eagles, the Saints would have won
I agree.
by big numbers.
Well, I think Minnesota got somewhat lucky in the way they won. I mean, not going to say that they didn't deserve to win.
They wouldn't have won that game if the Saints safety had made the tackle.
Well, yeah, but that's another story.
Had correctly timed his tackle.
Well, because pass interference is becoming such a questionable thing. Let's stop playing that.
Because the Eagles are
I know. It's legalities. Crap. What was I gonna say?
Pass interference.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying that was a guy who didn't want to get called for pass interference. So he let up. He went low, and he just incredibly missed.
He should have gone high.
Well, the thing is...
Well, not high,
because
but
if he
medium.
had gone high, he would have continued to carry in. There was a fear about pass interference. Because, especially if you're the New England Patriots, you get pass interference called for you if there's slight tap on the shoulder, apparently. We'll get to that later. I definitely think, though, that the Saints probably would have been going to the final game if it wasn't for that. But credit to Philadelphia. I think they would actually win if they had Carson Wentz, but they don't.
And again, our phone number, if you'd like to join any of our conversations, 419-372-9325. 419-372-9325 if you want to join the take here on Further Review. I'm Jacob Seidel along with Donovan Mann and Adam Gaw. And our guest today is Avery Collins and maybe Avery's roommate.
I'm waiting to hear back from him. He's in the building.
Maybe.
He
has not
work.
left the building.
All right, AFC.
Yeah, so we've got Jacksonville
against
falling to the Patriots 24-20.
The evil empire.
Give him credit. Tom Brady knows how to come from behind and win, and he also knows how to get a lot of help from the officiating crew. There was I believe, 88 yards. Stop, both of you, please. There was an 88-yard difference.
Annoyed much?
Between, let's not even. 88 yards difference between the yardage that Jacksonville got and the Patriots got due to penalties in favor of the Patriots. They got 88 more yards in penalties than their opponents did. That is the largest difference in a AFC championship game ever. And they were crucial calls, too. There was the pass interference near the end of the first half that, was it a tie? Did that tie the game, or that the upcoming touchdown did that?
The upcoming touchdown. It led to the touchdown.
It didn't tie it, though. It gave them only a one possession game, right?
Yeah.
Which was huge because that was right before halftime. Then there was one apparently at the end of the one further down. I stopped watching because I had to do something else. But my point on this is,
it gives fuel for people like me, which the common person does not enjoy.
No, I fully believe that the officials have been helping the Patriots out, and it's been getting more and more blatant. First of all, they claim that official that looked like he was celebrating with the Patriots was breaking up a fight. The angle that it looked like he could have or could not have been, but it really looked like he might have been celebrating with them, but that's beside the point.
It's like they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No, because there were two very crucial pass interference calls.
Remember when they tried to hand over the Eagle? Remember when the Panthers played the Eagles? They tried to hand the game over to Carolina.
Which game?
In the regular season. It was like a 150-yard difference.
Don't even talk to me about Carolina ever getting favored by the officials, because you'll make me say words that I'm not allowed to say on air because it is total beep.
Which game got you salty now?
Any of them.
And meanwhile,
literally, if you're the face of a Charlotte-based franchise, you can't get a call to save your life. I have watched both Kemba Walker and Cam Newton get hacked, whacked, bashed, in times when any other player at their position would have gotten protected.
Meanwhile, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick just sitting there like,
heh. I thought that was you at first. I really was. Anyway, back to what I was saying. There were several pictures of Jacksonville players getting interfered with. No flags, no pass interference calls for Jacksonville.
Number 1.
I'm looking at the sound effects library.
And then
sorry.
It was crazy. I mean, and so that is fully why I don't think the Eagles will win the Super Bowl.
I think that's exactly why the Eagles are going to lose this game.
They won't be given a chance.
Wait. We have this sound effect?
And
I'm sorry.
And even Brian Vallon, the only Patriots fan I know who's actually from the Massachusetts area.
He's not a bandwagon guy.
No.
Like a lot of Patriots fans seem to be.
He even says, he's like, oh yeah, I know it's obvious that we get calls. But they don't care as long as they're handed the trophy every year. Speaking of which, the AFC Championship trophy, it was kind of funny. Bill Belichick was handed it, and he just wanted to hand it right off. And honestly, Jacob. You know why? Jacob, you're going to be revoked all board rounds. This happens every time you run the board. You have to play with the special effects.
I thought it was just going to be the dilly, so I was trying to actually play it like Tom Brady was Bill Belichick was handed a trophy. It's like dilly, but it didn't work right. So
he literally just handed the trophy off to the owner. He didn't want anything to do with it.
And now entering the studio, we have another guest who I'm not sure of his name.
It's Lane.
Lane?
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jacob. This is Adam Donovan, and I'm guessing you know him.
Avery, yeah.
Yeah, Lane, if you just want to, I guess, if you guys don't mind, just introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Say a little bit about yourself, I guess.
Well, I'm Lane. I guess I'm not too big on sports in general, I guess. I'm also from Kenton, Ohio, if Avery's told you that. I don't know.
No, I hadn't.
Guess not.
That's where we live.
Yeah, that is where we live. And I'm a media production major here in BG. Like I said, not big on sports.
He's very opinionated, though. So
true. Very true.
So any opinions on the Patriots?
Not really.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like them. Sure.
CBS always loves their ads. Sorry, I was looking at something.
Every media outlet loves their ads.
CBS Sports is the only one that makes you listen to their video, even if you continue to scroll down. Bleacher Report hasn't done it to me. ESPN hasn't done it to me.
You know, there's this button called the mute button.
I did hit the mute button. Still on the mute button.
I think we need a little bit of comic relief here, real quick.
20 seconds. Name something you sit in. Chair. Try again. Big chair. No, that's the same thing. Try again. High chair. That's still a chair. Chair. Say something other than chair. What if I can't think of anything? You can pass. How do I pass? Just say it. Say what? Say pass. Chair.
Donovan is giving me a death glare.
I'm actually looking at the terminal behind you. My eyes are nowhere near you.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, I am too. I'm actually very close from walking out of the studio because I got no.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long show today, guys.
I got nothing left.
We're not even halfway done yet.
We're exhausted because one of us was up till 3 playing a new video game.
That's true.
Besides the point.
Was that you?
Which game was
That
it?
was me.
Oh, surprising.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters. You remember that?
I don't.
Are we done with NFL?
Might as well be.
I mean, we haven't talked Super Bowl predictions and all that. I will say this one last note. Maybe we'll go to break after this. The Patriots and the Eagles have played once before in a Super Bowl.
That was 39.
Mm-hmm. The Patriots won 20-17. I think was the final score.
I think it was 20.
I think it was 20-17.
24-20. 24-21 was the score.
24-20. I know it was a field goal win. But yeah, Tom Brady did it again. He came back from behind, and now he's got one more game before he puts a ring on his other hand,
I just remember
speak.
not paying attention. Well, no, I watched most of the first half of last year's and thought that Atlanta had it, and then stopped caring. And then the last 2 minutes, they're like, "Oh, 2 minutes left in the game." I go upstairs to watch it, and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were...
The Eagles could be up 45-0, and the Patriots would still come back.
It was ridiculous.
I'm sure one way or another, it'll be a good game, guys.
And with that, we're going to take another break real quick here on Falcon Radio and YouTube. And when we come back, we're going to have our Super Bowl predictions real quick. And we'll move on to probably our next topic of discussion, which is, I think, basketball? NBA. You're listening to Further Review here on Falcon Radio and YouTube.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing, too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
On Saturday, January 27th, the BGSU men's basketball team will take on the Toledo Rockets in the Battle of I-75 at the Stroh Center. The Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization will have pregame coverage starting at 1:15 p.m. and the play-by-play at 2 p.m. on Falcon Radio, your home for BGSU men's basketball.
Hi, this is Tom Hamilton, voice of the Cleveland Indians. You're listening to all the high-flying action of Falcon Sports on 88.1 WBGU.
Did you not get that reference, Jacob?
The Family Guy reference. Yeah, I got it.
This song never gets old.
Anyway, welcome into Further Review. This is Donovan Mann, Jacob Seidel. Oh, I was hoping you'd keep it going. Never mind. Adam Gaw.
Avery Collins.
And Lane White.
And we are here to give some Super Bowl predictions, some look at the upcoming matchup between the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. You did mention a point that Nick Foles did have a good game in the NFC Championship game. Perhaps he's got one more magical game left in him to try to take down the Patriots, something only one team has ever been able to do in the Super Bowl.
And that was the New York Giants.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, it's great. When
Eli Manning, maybe one of the most overrated quarterbacks in my opinion. So is the only quarterback to ever be able to beat him.
Overrated.
He's beat him 3 times.
I think he's the right amount of rated.
He really is the right amount of rated. If there's a Manning brother that was overrated, it was Peyton in the latter half of his career.
Last couple seasons, I will say.
The last 2 seasons.
Have you guys seen that Saturday Night Live skit from like 2012 with Eli Manning, where he was teaching little siblings to beat up on their older siblings?
Yeah.
And he gets one of them thrown in a trunk, like with the little brother, and he's like, "That'll teach you for picking on your little brother, Peyton." "My name's not Peyton." "Shut up!" Slams the trunk. It's so funny. Like, that's quality.
Anyway,
little tidbit there.
That was I didn't see that, but now I kind of want to look it up.
So Super Bowl predictions.
I will say this: there's one thing that the Patriots struggle to do, that is run the ball. Ajayi and Blunt are very angry downhill runners who can make people play. Of course, Blunt has already said there will be no friendship. There will be no, "That's my bro." There will be, "You are on the other team. I hate you," which is the exact right attitude you want one of your top running backs to do. Of course, then there's Tom Brady. Let's leave it at that. Tom Brady. So, that being said, important stat: Patriots have never won a Super Bowl by more than 1 score. In fact, last year was the only time they had won by more than 4.
Didn't they win by a touchdown?
They won by 6, yes.
Okay.
Because they didn't kick the extra point.
Right. I didn't know if I remembered that.
Yeah, okay. Real quick, though. Isn't that a weird rule? If you score a touchdown when time runs out in regulation, you have to kick the extra point. But you don't in overtime.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened in the
they made them,
Minnesota game. They made them come back out and snap the extra point.
The third-string quarterback came out.
No, that was...
No, because the Saints had already gone to the locker room. The third-string quarterback came out and played defense. Like, they looked like they literally had said, "We need 11 players to come out."
They had 9.
Yeah.
They only had 9 players on the field.
One of them was the third-string quarterback who plays special teams.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Flag him? The game's over.
Most of the team was in the locker room, and
the entire team. No, the entire team had gone to the locker room.
How confusing!
The officials somebody had to go back
there. They had to get all the
say,
media off the field. They had to, because all the media had already gone down onto the field. They're like talking to Drew Brees and everybody, and then Drew Brees is like, "Bye." Drew Brees, in my opinion, is still the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Aaron Rodgers.
I respect him. I respect Aaron Rodgers.
By numbers,
we can have this conversation if you want.
By numbers, he is the best. He's been
actually by numbers. Are you saying active quarterbacks?
Yes.
By numbers, Tom Brady.
By numbers, the past.
What numbers are you talking about?
Hey,
every season, he has like 3,000 yards passing.
That I have not lost a single NFL game that I have ever played. So by that logic, shouldn't I be the number 1 NFL quarterback?
Have you played any NFL games?
That's besides the point.
There you go.
And you can't stay off the weed.
Wow.
Was that necessary?
Yes, it very much was.
Anyway, given the information I have put before you guys, I am saying Patriots, and it's going to be 35-31.
Are you guys ready for my uneducated prediction?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, you see, so they're going to go out there. It's Philadelphia, right? The Eagles?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure now that all my credibility is destroyed. They're going to go out there, just tear it up in the first 3 quarters, and then like the first 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. Going to have a lead by about 8,369,420. And
very exact.
The Patriots are just going to come back in that last like 5 minutes. They're going to beat them by like 2 points. Exactly 2. They're going to tie it up, take it in overtime, score safety just because.
Just score safety.
Yep, that's do you write that down? That's my
all right. In the books, placing money on it.
I forgot your name again. Lane. That's what I thought it was. Your prediction?
Sad.
I predict that there will be a Super Bowl, and that's about it.
Oh my God! It's like he's Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
The only
James.
time he's ever gotten something right.
No,
Adam?
Eagles 31, Patriots 28, referees 7.
Good one.
I honestly was hoping you were going to say
I respect that.
Central New Hampshire State, because I was going to do this.
They're a college team. Central New Hampshire State is too good for the NFL. They're in a league of their own.
Channing Tatum is going to take the Metro City University, whatever they were, all the way to state, all while solving this undercover drug problem.
I'm honestly... This one, I hate the Patriots with every fiber of my being, and I do not want them to win a Super Bowl ever.
They already have 5 times.
Hate's a strong word. I love how you just have those at the ready.
I know, it's great. I love this. They don't let me run the soundboard often.
Who usually runs the soundboard?
One of us.
It's a rotation. We rotate, so it's me, followed by Adam, followed by him, followed by me, followed by Adam, followed by him, followed by me, followed by Adam.
That's usually how a rotation works, Donovan.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you.
It's a circle
of life.
But on the other hand,
counterclockwise.
The other hand, I don't think the Eagles can withstand Tom Brady and
the officials.
I mean, I think the Super Bowl is going to be a bit better. Maybe not. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Patriots by a touchdown. It might go to overtime again. I don't know, but this game it seems like the Patriots are poised to win number 6, and then they'll have to get their jet repainted. Yeah.
Have they repainted their private jet for every Super Bowl that they've won?
Well, no, they're the only team in the NFL that has a private jet, and they just have 5 Lombardi trophies painted on the tail fin.
What color is Roger Goodell's jet going to be?
I thought they said they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
They didn't want to give it to him.
No, that was a joke.
Okay. Other NFL news.
But it'd be called Air Fake 1.
Have you made your prediction yet?
Yeah, I said Patriots by 7.
Okay. Other NFL news, real quickly. Buffalo Bills center Eric Wood is retiring because of a neck injury, which is apparently very complicated. And one last note on the NFL that I can't remember what it was. Oh, let's talk some draft here. Because someone still believes that inaccurate, inconsistent Josh Allen is worth the number 1 overall pick. And his name is not Mel Kiper, it's Jacob Seidel.
Who's that?
It's the guy at the board.
Me.
And apparently in the Senior Bowl, which is this weekend, and they've been having practice all week, Josh Allen has been, by a lot of people's sayings, all over the place.
It said censor, so I was trying to beef him out.
It's the dolphin censor from SpongeBob. Krabs is wait, Krabs is
Dang it, Noah.
It took me a minute to realize where that was from.
Dang it, Noah.
Squidward.
I blame Noah Yingling for this.
Good.
But the most media has for the Senior Bowl has been covering Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. And apparently it's polar ends of the spectrum. Baker Mayfield's apparently out there balling out. Josh Allen, not so much. They're playing for the same team on the Senior Bowl, too. It should be important to mention that.
I still don't want to see Baker Mayfield anywhere near an orange and brown uniform.
There are 2 things I want to see if I were to get onto that bandwagon. One, I want his honest, out there, nothing embellished measurements from the combine. I really want to know, how tall is he? What's his weight? Because that was my major concern. Then I started to look, okay, Drew Brees, 209 pounds. He's apparently 5'12", according to Google.
5'12"?
5'12".
So 6 foot.
Yes. Did you not see my tweet from earlier?
No.
Give me 1 second.
No, I went on to Google. They have him listed as 5'12", and he's not the only person either. I want to know: is he really 6'1"?
God.
Yeah,
They do.
Is he really 6'1" like Oklahoma says, or are they embellishing that?
Well,
Second
here's
of all,
the-
I want testament to that he's actually matured, because I don't want to see him doing what
I can guarantee you
what he did
has
at Kansas. John Dorsey gave a pretty good talk about him. Apparently, a lot of stuff that he said about Baker Mayfield.
They said that about Johnny Manziel too.
A lot of stuff he said about Baker Mayfield is direct compare to what he said about Patrick Mahomes last year. I'm concerned about some of his off-field issues. I will say this: opposed to Johnny Manziel, when he was getting busted for all this stuff, wasn't all that openly apologetic. Mayfield has been openly apologetic, has been openly remorsed about that.
Apologetic. Air quotes.
That's what you say though. That's the issue. It will depend. But his teammates haven't been throwing him under the bus like another one of the top quarterback prospects. So,
I just am hoping with all my might that the Browns do not draft Rosen, because he would be a media circus waiting to happen.
Aren't the Browns already a media circus? Like
they're a media joke.
Yeah,
they're a media punchline.
0-16.
Wait. Hang on.
If they make
that one actually works there.
If there were there's some pickups they could make that I think might actually pull them slightly out of the misery.
I just think it was like, if any team was to go on 16, yeah, it'd be the Browns. But at
They
the
didn't
same
even do it
time-
first. That's the thing.
I know they didn't, but like, I feel like it was just so. It left a weird taste in your mouth. Like, not necessarily a bad taste, but it was like everything I heard before the regular season started was like, oh man, the Browns are looking good this year. Like,
That was
heard.
me. That was me. They went 4-0 in the preseason. They looked to be pretty good. They had two decent first games, and then L. Am I at 16 yet?
I think you're at like 8.
Donovan said they were going to go 10-6.
There you go.
10-6 was his prediction.
I said 8-8, and I thought that was gonna be close. So,
16.
And with that, we have to take our hour break here on Falcon Radio. When we come back, we're probably gonna be moved on from the NFL. Maybe have our
final discussions on
the NFL. Maybe we'll have our guests give us a quick E-League update on esports like Overwatch and stuff like that. You're listening to Further Review here on Falcon Radio.
You're listening to Falcon Radio on HD2, WBGU 88.1, Bowling Green, Ohio.
Community sponsorship for WBGU programming is brought to you by Grounds for Thought, a local coffee shop offering vintage books, vinyl, comics, and a selection of home-baked goods. Grounds for Thought, located at 174 South Main Street, Bowling Green, Ohio.
Let's take a time out to talk about educational athletics. That means the school sports are an extension of the classroom. Student athletes earn the privilege of participation in sports by succeeding during the school day first, before they put on the team uniform after. Student athletes prove that with better attendance records, higher GPAs, and fewer discipline issues than non-student athletes. That's what it means to be a part of the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
On Saturday, January 27th, the BGSU hockey team will travel to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to face the Lake Superior State Lakers in WCHA action. The Lakers faced the Falcons earlier this season on November 10th and 11th, and the Falcons won one game and tied the other. Join Ryan Vallon for the pregame coverage show at 6:37 p.m. and the play-by-play at 7:07 on your flagship home for BGSU hockey, 88.1 FM, WBGU, and the Falcon Radio Network.
This is Jay Crawford, former ESPN SportsCenter anchor and former member of BGRSO. And you're listening to 88.1 FM, WBGU HD1 and HD2, broadcasting more games than any other student-run organization in the country.
And back here on Further Review. Hi again, everyone. Jacob Seidel here with you, along with Adam Gall, Donovan Mann, Avery Collins, and Lane.
Didn't even let it thunder.
Lane. Sorry. What's your... Sorry? White. I should know that. I don't.
Speaking of Gretzky.
What?
I said speaking of Gretzky.
Lane, not Wayne.
No, because we were talking about Gretzky. Yeah.
We weren't just talking about him, though, so...
It was an hour ago.
Wrong.
Okay.
Like when we started the show an hour ago.
You know, you're almost as wrong as this.
Cool Whip. I love Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Anyway, so final discussions here, just quickly on the NFL draft. I'm actually very curious as if to the Giants will actually take Rosen as well.
I think they might, but I don't think he's going to play for 2 years. I think that it's Manning's team until Manning leaves.
Well, because Gretelman said, that's his name, right? Yeah, Gretelman said, their new GM, he was like, well, we're going to build around Eli. He said, we're going to rebuild with Eli. So it'd be very interesting to see what he means by that, because I think he's got one more year on his contract.
Something like that.
So
Eli, First Energy Stadium is right this way.
No.
He's better than any other free agent quarterback we could get.
He's not a free agent.
Exactly.
And he's overrated. He is incredibly overrated.
You're overrated.
I know I am. They drafted, though, Webb in the 3rd round last year with the expectation that he would train up to kind of take over, but that's kind of been put on pause. I want to laugh, though. I want this laugh on draft day. With the 6th pick in the NFL draft, Josh Rosen, New York Jets.
I would laugh. That would be.
I would laugh. I said, well, he got to New York. It's just not the team he wanted to play for. That would actually make me laugh.
So,
in which case, if they don't, they would take Barkley with the number 2 overall pick, which is why I'm saying Barkley needs to be the number 1 overall pick if the Browns want him.
Anything else, NFL? Anyone? Going once. Going twice. Third and final call.
Pro Bowls this weekend. Hi, Leo. Pro Bowls this weekend. Nothing much on the NFL. And so with that, NBA. Gentlemen.
Actually, I have one thing real quick. Have you looked at our sound effect library at all?
No.
It's literally just one giant meme.
Being that this is my first time in the studio.
Like, listen to some of these. Like, or,
quality,
wait,
man.
where'd it go? Right, here it is.
Going for some of that quality.
China. Like, it's literally just one giant meme library.
Oh, yeah. Except memes are pictures.
Speaking of China, the Shanghai Dragons in the Overwatch League are 0-5.
Stop it.
Wait, oh, we have this. Okay, this one is a meme, technically.
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on to the NBA now, where the Cavs are...
I'm actually going to go ahead and talk about the All-Star game first. And the selection. The Team LeBron versus Team Stephen Curry. Team LeBron looks like this. Obviously, LeBron James, because he's the captain. He will be one of the starters. He will be alongside former teammate and arrogant butthead Kyrie Irving. Did you see what he said? I was going to sit out with a knee injury if they decided not to trade me. So what you just told me is your own personal pride and attitude will get into the way of you playing the game you want. That's my thoughts on that statement right there. He's also going to be playing alongside Kevin Durant, who apparently is going to be his shooting guard. Then...
Okay, but can we real talk here? Why is Curry the captain and not KD?
Popularity. It's a popularity vote. These two teams were announced at the beginning of the year.
I don't like it. I don't like this. I like I want the East-West format.
I don't, because the West has the West literally has 2 teams that could beat the East.
But no, the All-Star game's always been East-West. You can't change that because the NBA is unbalanced right now.
No, they're trying to make it more entertaining.
It would be like the MLB All-Star game without the NL versus AL.
Why not? I mean, you're not playing for home field anymore.
But it's tradition. It's traditional. It's the way it should be.
The
it's
NBA
the way it always
is far from traditional.
Even the NHL does it too.
Two political decisions right here, I would think, by LeBron, as he took his power forward Anthony Davis and center DeMarcus Cousins, 2 people that people are saying the Cavs should trade for.
Ooh.
So maybe a little political right there. I don't know. Then his reserves look like this. He's got Bradley Beal, which I don't know why he's an all-star, John Wall, Victor Oladipo, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, Kristaps Porzingis, and Westbrook, who, by the way, Westbrook, when he looked down the list of LeBron's selections, he saw that his name was last. He literally said, "You picked me last." He apparently went off in an interview about how he was picked last. And then somebody told him, the list was alphabetical order by last name, right? Somebody had told him that, and he was like, "Oh." And LeBron apparently in a after practice interview was like, "Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny."
It's great.
And then I can't find where's Team Steph? Where is Team Steph?
Has it been announced yet?
It's been announced. They announced them yesterday.
I don't know. But yeah, the Cavs. I think the Cavs will have. I think the Cavs are actually going to land Anthony Davis. I think they're gonna if they unload J.R. Shump and the Brooklyn pick for Anthony Davis, I think they win that trade.
There was something I saw,
or maybe even Tristan Thompson.
There was something I saw. I think it was Kevin Love for DeMarcus Cousins.
No, keep Love. He's an all. First off, he is an all-star.
Anyway,
he's your second best player.
Then
they
mentioned
3.
that you would put in the Brooklyn pick, and I said I would make the trade straight up. Maybe would even consider throwing in the Cleveland pick, but not.
Well, why would you trade Kevin
pick.
Love? He's the number 2 guy in your big 3 right now. He's the second best player in the team right now.
There's a lot of questions about his dedication to the team.
It's more dedicated than Kyrie. At least he's going out there and playing. That's all you can ask for in a player.
Also leaving games when they're being blown out because he says he's sick. Whether or not that's actually what happened.
Wasn't that one game?
Yeah, and it was also the most embarrassing game of the year that he did it in.
This isn't me defending if he wasn't sick, but I've been on the other end of a few of those, and I felt sick to my stomach on sitting and watching that. So I can understand. I think he actually could have been sick. I don't understand why. But it's not his fault. The Cavs are that's a symptom of a bigger problem.
They are making a lineup change. Thank God they're getting him out of the center. Not that Tristan Thompson's any better defensively, but at least he's used to playing against centers.
Tristan Thompson is moving to the bench, isn't he? Tristan Thompson's on the bench.
No, they're moving him to the starting center position now. Moving Love back to the power forward where they just announced.
No, Tristan is going to the bench.
Tyronn Lue announced these lineups.
Jay Crowder.
No, Crowder's going to the bench.
No, Crowder's starting now.
No, Crowder's been the starting power forward with Love at the center for the entire season.
I swear that I read an article yesterday. That's what it said.
You got it mixed up. I'm 100% sure you got it mixed up. In fact, I will bet every single ounce of money I have that you got it 100% messed up.
0?
Actually,
What if you're wrong?
Then I will go bankrupt.
Fun fact.
Cavs reveal new starting lineup. Kevin Love back to the 4. Tristan Thompson to center. Jay Crowder coming off bench.
That was the fun fact, yeah.
Yesterday,
I swear
1:01 p.m.
Jay Crowder to replace Tristan Thompson in starting lineup.
When's it from?
Yesterday at 5:45 p.m. from ESPN. Okay, never mind. Kev, I didn't see the correct. I never saw the correction one. Yeah. A correction came through. That's my bad.
Thanks, ESPN. You got us on a fight. Anyway.
Fake news. Why don't we have the fake news soundbite?
There was another thing I wanted to say. Okay, hold on. I am trying to get Team Steph. For some reason, Team LeBron's all over the place. But not Team Steph.
Yeah, I don't. It's
I
the All-Star game. It's just going to be another All-Star game. 140 to 140. Not going to go to overtime. They're just going to end it in a tie, and basketball's awful. Sometimes. The NBA is...
Okay, here we go. Steph's starters are, of course, himself. He's got Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, James Harden. I look at those starting lineups. LeBron James' starting lineup destroys Steph's lineup, first of all. Anyway, then his reserves are Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Damian Lillard, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, and Karl Anthony
And why
Towns.
is Draymond Green an all-star?
Draymond Green over... Who was it that got... Who got... Draymond Green over Paul George really did confuse me.
Yeah, it's... Draymond Green doesn't really do anything.
He's on the best team in the league, other than that.
And with that, we have another break coming up here real quick. When we come back, we will finish our NBA talk, and I promise we'll get to like a little like Overwatch League for you guys.
Oh, man.
He's
or
lying.
something.
He always lies.
I promise. Yeah, that will be the thing we do after NBA because I've got the sound bites set up for it and everything. You're listening to Further Review here on Falcon Radio and watching on YouTube. Stay tuned.
Let's take a time out to talk about educational athletics. That means the school sports are an extension of the classroom. Student athletes earn the privilege of participation in sports by succeeding during the school day first, before they put on the team uniform after. Student athletes prove that with better attendance records, higher GPAs, and fewer discipline issues than non-student athletes. That's what it means to be a part of the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
On Friday, January 26th, the BGSU hockey team will travel to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to face the Lake Superior State Lakers in WCHA action. The Lakers faced the Falcons earlier this season on November 10th and 11th, and the Falcons won one game and tied the other. Join Ryan Vallon for the pregame coverage show at 6:37 p.m. and the play-by-play at 7:07 on your flagship home for BGSU hockey, 88.1 FM, WBGU, and the Falcon Radio Network.
Hi, this is Tom Hamilton, voice of the Cleveland Indians. You're listening to all the high-flying action of Falcon Sports on 88.1 WBGU.
Never before have we been so tired here for the review. Myself, Adam Gaw.
I don't know why. This has been a
It's-
very like taxing week.
It's just we're dragging.
And I haven't even had any exams.
I've had 3 this week technically, because we've had 2 in our pop culture class, and then I had 1 in a different class.
What pop culture?
Pop culture intro to popular music.
This has been one of my favorite classes.
Yeah, it's so great. The professor.
I did not
I
expect
took a
it to
pop
be
culture
as
class that was
entertaining.
food.
It's Mark Donahue. Mark Donahue,
It
right?
was-
Matt Donahue.
Yeah, it was
Matt-
a food and folklore
Mad
class.
Matt Donahue. He's a great. He's the embodiment of everything from the 70s and 80s, basically.
Just anything like rock and roll up until like just history of music in general.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
great guy. I highly recommend the class.
Oh man.
Highly.
I understand
highly
why
recommend.
a few of them in there, like on day one, when they're like, everyone go around, say your name, major, where you're from, why you're taking the class. And I love that a lot of people said that they'll take him again because they love how he runs this class.
Oh yeah. Unlike one of my other professors that I've had that a lot of people are like, I don't like this class, I want to leave.
So, finish our NBA discussion. You're absolutely right. The Cavs have become a big dumpster fire.
Oh, they've been a dumpster fire since December. They've won, 4 games since December 27th?
They've won 3 out of 10 since Christmas.
It's ridiculous.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they suck defensively. They don't have
defense. What's defense? The Canton Charge would play a better defense than them.
Exactly. I mean, and the fact that a lot of that has to do with is they don't have the rim protector that you need. And to ever think that Kevin Love was going to be able to survive. Somebody tried to argue, what he gives you offensively makes up for that. Though I'm like, no, it really doesn't.
No, and then the Saints. Kevin Love, he plays better defense than some of the other people on the floor.
But as far as playing the center position, he really can't.
Oh, and then playing the Spurs, it looked like they're the Harlem Globetrotters.
Right?
Like, honestly, 148 points, and David Blatt.
That was the Thunder.
I meant Thunder, my bad. And then David Blatt just made, I hope we don't give up as many points as Cleveland did the other night. Like the coach, the coach that should still be at the helm, the coach that should be, actually coaching defense.
To me, the lineup change that Tyronn Lue made is like basically his last little.
Tyronn Lue needs to be gone.
He's either there or he's going to get fired because he's not. He's done nothing but seen this team drop off, and people say, "Well, he was the coach when they won the championship on David Blatt's foundation." They were better defensively.
And we had Timofey Mozgov, one of the best defensive.
And I think another issue is they don't practice either. How are you going to ever expect for team chemistry to build to get better if you don't go to the gym and practice? I mean, of course, I would hope some of them go to the gym individually and work when there's open gym hours, but to not have team practices?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
I don't care.
Tyronn Lue might be one of the worst coaches in NBA history.
I mean, if you look at the talent on the roster, Isaiah Thomas, who's still not 100%, he will get there. J.R. Smith, okay, older, needs to go, probably. He's probably done with his career soon.
Should have been done.
LeBron James, the best player in the league. Kevin Love, as your starting four, then you got Tristan Thompson and Channing Frye, whoever you want to put at center. Honestly, I would like to see Channing Frye maybe start at center, but he's not any much better defensively. Then off the bench, you've got a former MVP, Dwayne Wade.
Is Derrick Rose still taking up a spot?
He's back. He's playing again.
He should be gone.
He's back. He's playing again.
I don't want him on the team. He's taking up a spot that we could use for a better defensive player.
He's probably a better defender than Isaiah Thomas is. As far as point guards go, he's a better defensive player than most point guards.
You know what they need to do?
Jay Crowder now on the bench.
They need to trade for Delly. We need the Delly platter.
Giannis, they could put because Giannis Antetokounmpo is not happy now that the Bucks have cut or fired Kidd. So I would be interested to see if they wouldn't want to try it because he's technically a power forward. Find a trade, put him in.
Get Delly in it too.
I mean, goodness, you throw Giannis Antetokounmpo with LeBron James
and bring Delly back as your backup point guard. Who is honestly, Delly was the best defensive player on that championship team.
He was. He wasn't on the defensive. No, he wasn't on the champ. Was he?
Yeah, that was his last year in Cleveland.
Was it? I thought it was the year before. Anyway. So yeah, certainly they need defenders now. And then the one thing I saw was they're close to getting George Hill. George Hill,
over the hill.
George Hill is older.
Over the hill.
He's not defensive. He doesn't play defense, and he doesn't produce a lot of points. I have no idea why they would make a trade for him.
It's ridiculous.
And
that's about it for NBA.
That will conclude NBA.
I hit the wrong button.
Good job.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
And no, we are not talking about Madden or the former NCAA football, which might be coming back.
EA game.
No, we're not. That's true. Because EA is awful, and they ruined Star Wars Battlefront.
Hey now.
No,
Apologize, EA, for the idiotic comments of my he doesn't
They
know what he
ruined
does.
Star Wars.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't
Agreed.
realize that he could get us into a
EA
lot of trouble if he doesn't stop talking.
They have published quite a few good games.
Correct. Yeah. Are we allowed to give our before we get into this? Are we allowed to give our opinions on stuff like that?
I'd be careful about it.
If they're positive, then
Anyway,
You can't promote it as an advertisement.
I'm not. I wouldn't. no.
Anyway,
Just yeah.
so
You can't give a call to action. So you can't go out and say, go do this because I think it's great. You can say certain
From
stuff.
my own experience.
Yes. You can't be like, hey, go out there and buy it.
Gotcha.
So you can praise it, but you can't like advertise it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So wait, hold on. Before we get into the esports stuff, before we leave off on a sour note with EA, EA has produced a lot of good games.
they have. I'm just saying
Correct.
they did
Star
not
Wars
do it.
Battlefront was less than stellar.
Both of them
Incredibly
were less
less
than
than
stellar.
They did publish both Titanfall games, right?
Correct. Yes. Both
Both very good.
Titanfalls, all the Battlefield franchise. Which
Have you
I
played
love
the
more
second
than-
Battlefront, Jacob?
No,
It's a lot better than the first one.
but it's still bad. Well, I've played.
It's not like
Are you kidding
I
me?
have
it's
played
not-
it.
it's
so bad I haven't played it.
game. What?
I have played it, but I just
It's not
haven't
like
played a lot of
it's
it.
yeah, it's not the same as the original 2,
5
but
minutes of
it's a
gameplay.
lot better than the first one was.
Anyway.
You didn't buy a half a third of the game.
play it. I'm an expert.
Anyway,
I don't think they even did.
so for anyone listening that knows anything about video games,
Do you want to start with Dragon Ball?
your mic's still on.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was gonna Overwatch, one of the
Gotcha.
most. It's one of the. It is the biggest online game right now. Really,
Right. It's been out for about a year and a half now. I think going on
About-
2 years.
Yeah, it's in like May. I think it'll be 2 years.
Yeah, in 2016, and it has since then just kind of taken off. Just a little bit about the game. It is an arcade-style first-person shooter, although not all the characters shoot. You play as 28 unique different characters. I love that Blizzard took it and went I know in this day and age it's like everything's progressive, but I appreciate how diverse the game is, like to respect
Oh, yeah.
all of the different cultures and stuff, and to a point where it's not
Except-
like making fun of it or anything.
except
it's
for
just,
when May took off her coat, then everyone kind of lost their crap.
Oh yeah, just certain, and at the very, very, very beginning, Tracer's I think her highlight intro was, and even in the beta, like it didn't even make it in the actual game, was she turned like with her back to the camera, and Tracer, one of the main, she's on the cover of the game, is a like short-haired
Tomboyish type.
kind of,
character.
yeah, but she wears like tight leggings and like just stood straight up, didn't bend over at all, just turned with her back to the camera, like kind of be edgy, like looking over my shoulder, hey, I'm better than you. But everyone thought because of her tight leggings, it was like the focus should have been on her posterior and that she was being objectified.
Nice wording.
And Blizzard fans in the forums ripped it apart. They said, "Oh my gosh, this doesn't fit her character. She's so spunky," and like, it's a game. Like, oh man, it frustrated me so
Right.
much. And I know it's like 2 years old, and they since fixed the problem. And like Blizzard said, yeah, it was just something we were considering. Like, we should have. We weren't going to go
tested
with
it,
it.
yeah.
They weren't going to go with it anyway. It was just it was just there to be there.
But anyway, they've kind of Blizzard and Overwatch, the developers have kind of brought in a new thing.
Well,
this is
it's-
like the first. I believe it's the first professional
first official,
league
yes.
where players are earning a salary instead of just jackpots.
Yeah,
I think so.
There have been 3 big Overwatch tournaments internationally, but this year they're like, hey, you know what'll be cool if we turn this into an actual esports league, and like, I think they've done so well with it. Like it's actually, I had not followed anything on like the professional level, excuse me, of any esport or video game in general, and like I have the Overwatch League app now, and I'm like following teams. I just want to explain a little more. I've pulled up a little spiel here because this explains more of the financial standpoint, which I had no idea how much these players are making.
A lot.
The Overwatch League is an esports league created and run by Blizzard Entertainment that will showcase Overwatch, its popular first-person shooter. The inaugural season will feature 12 teams, each of which paid $20 million for a franchise spot. So to buy in, to be a team, they paid $20 million. Each team will represent a city of all, with all teams playing the first season in Los Angeles. Future seasons, okay, that's irrelevant. Minimum player salaries are $50,000 with a 1-year minimum and second-year option. So it's contract, but they're base $50,000 for competing.
Oh yeah, like it's
just
that's
wait
a lot.
Though. How it works, the preseason starts December 6th, runs December 9th, so it was just like a few days. The regular season launches January 10th, so it's already going on right now, runs till July. Total prize pool is $3.5 million.
Wow.
That's
I didn't
first
even know
place. Taking the championship team is taking home $1 million. So the total prize pool is $3.5 million. There's 12 teams, 2 divisions of 6, Atlantic and Pacific. Matches will take place Wednesday through Saturday. 4 stages in the regular season. Each stage is 5 weeks long. Each match will be 4 map sets. So as far as Overwatch goes, it's not your standard shooter. It's always objective based. So you're holding a point or you're escorting a payload. So you have to work together as a team. There's no solo player just going off and killing other players in the team. The number 1 team of each division advances to the playoffs in July. At the end of each stage, so at the end of every week that they play, Wednesday through Saturday, there will be a title match between the top 3 teams, regardless of the division, for a bonus of $125,000. As far as the pool goes, for every match that they play, like every single regular season match, $100,000 for first place, $25,000 for second. At the end of the regular season, first place is taking home $300,000, second $200,000, third and fourth both $150,000, fifth and sixth $100,000, seventh and eighth $75,000, all the way down 11th and 12th place. So if you're last team in the league, you're still taking home $25,000 amongst your team. Right now, the teams consist of, and I'm reading this from right now their standings, like first to last in the league. Some of these, the scores aren't going to...
Real quick before you do that, we'll do the weather real quick.
Sorry about that.
So your weather, with your weather forecast real quick, currently in Bowling Green, Ohio, it is 51 degrees and clear out. The sun will set in about an hour and 13 minutes at 5:43. That'll be clear through the night with gusts of wind starting up at around 1 a.m. Your forecast for Saturday, they're calling for rain, a high of 47 and a low of 29. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 44, low of 26. And for your Monday, they're calling for clouds, a high of 29 and 14 degrees. Again, currently, it's 51 degrees and sunny in Bowling Green.
So I know you said clouds, but it definitely sounded like clowns.
Yes,
I for real thought you said clowns. Like I'm over here zoning out, and I heard. I'm over here zoning out, and I hear there are clowns, and I'm like, what?
Pennywise, the dancing clown.
That's it.
Hi, Georgie. All right, so back to it. Here's what the teams look like internationally. Right now, not everyone has played this week, so like their scores aren't up to date. So some are going to play 6 games, some are only going to play 5. In first place right now is Seoul Dynasty from South Korea, 5-0 right now, so they've gone undefeated. Next is London Spitfire, they're 5-1. New York Excelsior, 4-1. Los Angeles Valiant, 3-2. Philly Fusion, 3-2. Houston Outlaws, the Houston Outlaws are 2-2. The Boston Uprising and the LA Gladiators and the San Francisco Shock are all at 2-3. Florida Mayhems at 1-3. Dallas Fuel is at 0-4, and the Shanghai Dragons are at 0-5. Interesting take. I've been following Shanghai a little bit and Seoul just because it's kind of coming off of stereotyping, but like Seoul is really, really good at games and all that stuff. Like the past. It's bugging me that I can't think of the name. Apex was the tournament before Overwatch League. They won last year, and no, they didn't. Sorry, Dallas Fuel was the team that actually upset Seoul in last year's tournament, and they won the first 2 before that. Shanghai has been really, really close. It's just they've had the worst luck in all of their games they could have gone either way. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way.
Right.
And then just last bit of tidbit, within a league of its own, there are still, penalties and regulations, like how if someone acts up in the NFL, there are penalties and fines. London Spitfire player Profit, which is his handle, I forget his real name, they all have their handles on the team, was actually fined $1,000 for flipping off the camera that's in front of them. So they're all sitting up in front. If you're able to I don't know if you've seen the arena they play in, but they're all up front, all facing their computers. They all have cameras in front of them, so you can see kind of how stressed they're getting or how relaxed they are depending on how they're playing. I don't know. I didn't read up much on it. I just read the penalty. I didn't know if he was just being overconfident or if he had just died or something like that. Just subtle, gave him the bird, was fined $1,000 for it. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have on Overwatch League. It is, I'm enjoying it. So,
you're gonna call us nerds, Donovan?
No, I was about to go, well, everybody's heard about the birds, because he said gave him the bird. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is kind of not a new concept either. The NBA announced, I believe, two seasons ago they were trying to start a 2K league, and I believe they're finally getting in the final stages of getting it set up, but it's going to be different teams.
I play the best pick and roll game in 2K ever.
But it's going to be different teams like mirroring their NBA teams. So Cleveland and Golden State, for example, are both going to have 2K teams where players will earn a salary and they'll actually like go through like playing games. And I just think this could open up a whole new door and might bring esports into a new light.
I mean, I'm allowed to give like
opinions.
Cool. I think the 2K League is the dumbest thing ever.
Really?
I really do. Because you know what else we watch on television that's the exact same thing? NBA.
Right.
But,
Like,
but at least in 2K, people play defense.
Oh, shade.
Depends
get
on the
that
depends on the team
not
you watch.
Everyone is like LeBron James and athletic and.
There's
like
a
me.
reason that I've called the NBA the NFA.
The National Flopping Association.
Oh, okay.
And,
and
with
nod,
that,
that's it.
And with that, I think we're gonna move on from back to.
I do want
sports. Hang on.
I'm sorry. I know this is stepping back. There's just something I wanted to. A couple things I wanted to say. First of all, so you know how everybody makes a Kevin Durant joke that says my next chapter, and it says whatever team is like the hot team right then. On his own story, he posted the my next chapter with a picture of LeBron on the shirt because he's on Team LeBron. Also, Marcus Smart, the backup point guard for the Celtics, he's going to be missing the next 2 weeks because he cut his hand at a hotel, and they were doing an investigation. Turns out he punched a picture frame and apparently sliced his hand open. So there's that. Sorry.
And we've got one more thing in the esports category real quick just to finish up. Go ahead.
All right. Well, last night, let me just preface with this. There's a new Dragon Ball game that just came out today, actually. It's called Dragon Ball FighterZ. It was developed by Arc System Works, who are the same people behind Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, just competitive fighting games. And I guess around I think January 6th, the voice actors for Goku and Vegeta, who are the two main characters in Dragon Ball Z, they were arguing on Twitter over which character was better, Goku or Vegeta, and they had this whole long argument, and eventually led to them challenging each other to a game of Dragon Ball FighterZ, and so it seemed like it was just going to be like a friendly match, but then eventually like Funimation, who is the people who are in charge of dubbing Dragon Ball Z for America, they caught wind of it, and they actually decided to set up a full tournament called the Super Saiyan Showdown, and so they had it held in the actual esports arena in Santa Ana, California last night, and they had several other professional gamers there take part in it, and also a couple of casual gamers, and streamed it to Twitch. It was on the front page of Twitch as well.
I just think it's so funny how what started out as like an argument between two friends who love voicing, preface with they're the English voice actors, so
right?
they're not, and just like started out as a friendly argument, turned into this huge production thing. Like it was on YouTube, Twitch, streamed like everywhere. And from what we watched, we didn't watch the initial battle between Sean Schemmel, the voice actor of Goku, and Chris Abbott, the voice actor of Vegeta, the two main characters. But they were the color commentators for the rest of the night, and oh my goodness, I've never heard that fun. That it was just so entertaining. Like we laughed a little bit of it, but
that sounds like it would have been a really fun. Well, first off, they got a bunch of free advertising technically.
Oh yeah,
and second off, that's just a good way to get fans back into it. It's kind of pandering to the fans, but it's the good kind.
Yeah.
Right. It was pretty good.
Got me to buy the game.
Okay, I think that's going to wrap up our esports segment real quick. Do we want to do
NCAA basketball?
NCAA basketball. Ohio State Buckeyes lose for the first time this season in the Big Ten on a buzzer beater. They tied the game with 5 seconds left, and Penn State, yes, the Nittany Lions came down and put it up.
Always the Nittany Lions.
Or the Spartans. Always one of the two.
I'm done. I am done with Penn State. Y'all got ranked in the next matchup. You got destroyed, Michigan. Don't at me. Anyway, so there's one matchup coming up today. It'll be the Badgers are visiting Michigan State, and then tomorrow we've got a couple of interesting matchups as well. By the way, Purdue and Michigan played yesterday, and Purdue won by 4, 92-88. Here's a good one. Duke and Virginia, 2 versus foe. That one will be in Durham. It'll be an interesting matchup to watch there. I would take Duke. And then that's really the only ranked matchup.
And actually, we're going, since we took a little bit more time than I was expecting on that, we're going to switch to BG Sports, and we're going to do a 5-minute quick thing. So
BG Sports are in the last segment.
Right, but we have 5 people here for grievances. That'll take up a lot of 15 minutes.
No, the grievances are only supposed to be 30 seconds, and they're supposed to be 1, so...
Okay, never mind. We're not going to do BG Sports. My bad.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that'll be next segment.
Man,
okay.
Hockey?
Hockey. College of Worcester hockey. No, not College of Worcester
NHL.
Hockey. NHL hockey. Blue Jackets got swamped the other night by the Golden Knights.
No matter what button this team pushes, they nail it.
Oh, yeah, the Golden Knights. It's a success. But we'll just take a look real quick at these standings. Golden Knights are 3 points away from taking over the top spot in the NHL from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Again, Blue Jackets crawl back up a little bit. They're now in second place ahead of Pittsburgh in the Metropolitan Division. And Los Angeles is right on the outside going against Calgary.
Did you say the Jackets are back in it?
The Jackets are in second place right now. We'll just take a look at who would make the playoffs.
Wait, second
place in the Metro.
Because I looked yesterday and they were in the wild card spot.
So your top 3. We'll take a look at who would make the playoffs today. Tampa Bay, Boston, and Toronto would be your top 3 from the Atlantic Division. Washington, Columbus, and Pittsburgh from the Metro. From the Central, Winnipeg, Nashville, and St. Louis. And from the Pacific, Vegas, San Jose, and Calgary. Your wild card teams from the East would be New Jersey and Philadelphia, while in the West it would be Dallas and Colorado.
Don't do that.
The Colorado Avalanche.
The Colorado
Avalanche.
All-Star game's coming up, too.
Yeah, the All-Star game's coming up. As usual, now it's the 3-on-3 tournament, mirroring kind of like their overtime. I'm still not a big fan of it. I would still
It's the divisions, right?
Yeah. I still want the East versus West format back.
Time to grow out of it. Get with the current program. You don't want what? You're lame, Jacob. You're lame. I enjoy these new formats. I think the 3-on-3 divisions versus divisions is a lot better because obviously it shows like well, yeah, you can say East and West, but like, where's the talent really in them? Is the Metropolitan Division that great?
Sometimes it depends. It's like every other year.
I mean, the Metropolitan Division is incredibly close.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the Atlantic Division.
You want to do NASCAR real quick?
Daytona 500's coming up real
straight,
quickly.
turn left.
Drive straight, turn left. Drive straight, turn left. Drive straight, turn left. Sorry.
Daytona 500's coming up here in a few weeks. Before that will be the Clash and the Can-Am Duels, which are the qualifying races. A lot of turnaround here. Actually, the Rolex 24, which is a 24-hour endurance race, not with NASCAR. Somebody proposed the idea of they should do a Rolex 24 team, all of retired NASCAR drivers.
Ooh,
so
that'd be fun.
The picture included Danica Patrick, who's gone, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, and there was one more.
All the classics.
Yeah, it's a bunch of guys who just Dale Jr. Just recently retired, but all incredibly talented guys. Be interesting to see that happen. Chevy's driving a new model this year. They're not doing the SS anymore because the SS got discontinued.
They on the Camaro now?
Yes, they're doing the new Camaro Z or something. It's a really, really good looking car.
So you're gonna kind of in the Ford. They're technically doing the Focuses, right, with the Mustang engines.
They're doing Focuses with a stock engine.
Yeah.
And Toyota does the Camry with a stock
I don't
engine.
understand why they don't just give the.
Well, they race
the Mustangs.
They do Mustangs in the Xfinity series. And the Camaros have been the Xfinity car for a while. It's all about the body type. They think the Fusion kind of has a better body type.
I'd like to see Ford get back into F1.
Formula One's a lot harder to get into though because there's no cap on how much you can spend. Like in NASCAR and Indy, there's a cap.
And with that, we are going to step aside and get ready for take our last break. And when we come back, we'll have our weekly grievances, followed by BG Sports. You're listening to Further Review here on Falcon Radio.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
On Tuesday, January 30th, the BGSU men's basketball team will return home after a 2-game road trip to take on the Ohio Bobcats. The Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization will have the pregame show at 6:15 p.m. and the play-by-play at 7. I'm your home for BGSU men's basketball, Falcon Radio, and the TuneIn Radio app.
Hi, this is Tom Hamilton, voice of the Cleveland Indians. You're listening to all the high-flying action of Falcon Sports on 88.1 WBGU.
You got me ringing hell's bells.
That's the wrong song.
Wrong.
You are fake news.
I don't care, but I thought that would fit since we're moving into our weekly grievances now.
Yep.
Further Review, Donovan Mann with Jacob Seidel, Adam Gaw, special guests.
Avery Collins.
And Lane White.
My mic wasn't on. Avery Collins.
And this is the weekly grievance section.
Adam, why don't you start us off?
No, let's go Donovan first.
Donovan, you want to start us off?
I don't have anything to grieve about.
Okay,
right now.
bull.
My brain isn't functioning. There we go. That's my weekly grievance.
Okay,
why
never
can't
mind.
I sleep? Okay, I mean, really.
Say.
I don't know if
because
it's.
you accepted a job that's overnight.
I don't care. Thing is, it's not about that because it's not about that. I enjoy that. It's not a taxing job. It's I can't. When I'm in my bed, literally, in my bed, got into bed around 9 o'clock, couldn't go to sleep. I know that's unusual for a college student to be able to go into their bed at 9 o'clock. Just couldn't sleep.
Take some melatonin.
I don't have any.
I need to get some too.
Melatonin is a placebo.
It's actually not.
It is a placebo.
It's actually not.
It actually is. There is no data that it actually works.
Okay.
Learn this in psychology.
Avery?
Tom Brady is a dirty boy. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, though.
He's a cheater. That's what he meant. He's a cheater.
Honestly, though, I feel like the only reason he is so successful, because, like...
Systems quarterback. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, well, something along those lines. He's just a pretty boy. Like, I'm not going to deny he does have a lot of athleticism that I obviously...
I'm not going to lie. He's a very handsome woman.
He's a good athlete. I just don't like him. Quit giving him stuff. You're just here you go, just coddling him, give him a blanket, give him, another Super Bowl. It's fine.
Do you know he kept the suspension letter for Deflategate? He still has it. Like he never got rid of it.
His head's too big. He looks like, I've always thought this, he looks like an angrier older brother to Daniel Tosh.
You did say that the other day.
Yeah.
That actually is kind of accurate.
Yeah. I've always thought that. Well, I watched Tosh.0 before I actually paid attention to sports and got a good look at Tom Brady, and that's all I've ever thought was, hey man, this guy looks like this comedian, but angrier and bigger.
Next.
I just actually found out what my weekly grievance would be. These sensitive fans. These sensitive fans. Because I've seen Donovan.
What? I'm trying to adjust my mic so it works with how I'm sitting. Was it coming through on air?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well.
Anyway, these Bengals fans, I wasn't very fond of them to begin with.
Can I get a boneless pizza?
A boneless pizza.
Have you not seen that meme before?
I have.
Get a boneless pizza with a 2.
Can I talk?
Sorry.
We only got 10 minutes. I ranted about Marvin Lewis being extended last week. The things that I've seen from Bengals fans ever since then, you would think that they would be going after the Bengals organization. It's actually cannibalism. They're going after each other. You got fans saying, throwing all this stuff on Twitter and social media. And then you got other fans.
It must be an Ohio thing, too, because Browns fans do that, too. Browns fans are vicious, though.
But you got these Bengals fans, a few of them, they'll stand up for Marvin Lewis. And then you got fellow Bengals fans responding.
What?
And instead of trying to debate them, you got Bengals fans saying, "I'll do this to you. I'll do it." You're not going to do
no, Browns fans don't do that.
You're not going to do anything.
Browns fans don't, threaten people. They just sit there and argue about
Except
what's
for
wrong
Hugh
with the
Jackson.
team. Has he jumped into the lake yet?
He's not going to.
They didn't go 1-15 again.
He said 1 or 15. He said if we start off losing 15 or like that again, I will jump into the lake. He said if I lose 15 games. So
next.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any grievances at the moment. Not sure.
There's his grievance. He's grieving that he doesn't have a grievance.
That could be it. Or I could say something about the weather recently, but that's pretty much all year round in Ohio.
Yeah.
How the weather just
Hey,
decides
Siri,
to
how's
switch
the
it
weather?
up every single day.
Okay. So I have one weekly grievance this week, and then a quick story on what I'm doing to get
Your
back.
roommate?
Yes. 12:30 last night. 12:30 in the morning.
Quiet hours
Blow
violation.
drying hair right outside my door.
It never ends with Jacob.
Quiet hour violation.
I don't get it. I have my TV, that's in the common room, up, it has to be on 70 for volume, and I'm like, why? No,
Quiet hours violation.
Why?
Quiet hours
So,
violation.
Today, I took the remote and hit it. I took the remote into my room and hit it, and the TV doesn't have any buttons on the sides. So now we just have a paperweight in our common room that's vaguely TV shaped.
My girlfriend's TV has one button on the side. It's both the input button and the power button.
Yeah, I worked at home theater
going
department for
buttonless.
Best Buy, so yeah, like it's frustrating sometimes when I want to like show customers a specific feature and I have to go and grab the remote, but then that same remote works for every TV around it. It's a pain.
It should be like, soon we're just gonna be, hey, television, turn on SpongeBob.
Oh, I have rant about TVs like
I have
late
a
at night.
TLC TV.
TLCs are nice. They have low input lag, so like they're really fun for.
I got a 49-inch 4K smart TV with the Roku.
I know exactly which TV that you have.
I got it on sale at Best Buy.
Hopefully,
Yep, I know exactly. Was it like $329?
Yeah, it was. I got it over the summer.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Hopefully you understand it.
Still $329.
I won't go into detail on it, but don't say anything sensitive in front of that TV.
Okay.
TCL, not TLC.
I'm just telling you.
I got the joke.
Whenever you're in front of a smart TV, don't say anything.
No, my TV doesn't have any microphones.
Sorry, I was trying to get us to transition. I didn't realize how that was going to come through. That scared me. That actually scared me.
Your own voice.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us, man.
Hockey.
Falcons fight for victory. Number 15 in the nation.
15 in the
boys.
nation, back up top after a sweep of Alaska Anchorage this last weekend.
Man.
The second game was a bit of a nail biter, going down 2-0 after one, but the Falcons claw back and win it after a large win Friday night. Tonight they are in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, to take on the Lake Superior State Lakers. That game is at 6.
How original. Lake Superior Lakers.
Wait, it's like 6:30, right?
Probably.
Puck drop tonight, something like that.
Is it Central Time Zone?
Maybe.
No,
it's a weird
Eastern.
time zone. It's a weird time tonight. I believe it's 6. Actually, I have the thing pulled up. Why don't I just look at it real quick?
Could be wrong.
If it's at 6:30. Oh, never mind. Disregard my previous statement.
Fun fact.
7:07 p.m. start tonight. Also, that'll be over on 88.1. We'll have pregame there on 6:30 tonight.
Whoever took over the Sports Illustrated media, social media, I'm not a fan of.
Also,
what is Fake Sports Center have in
there will
store
be
for
a
us?
special presentation from the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization tomorrow night, as myself and Chip Crennan will be broadcasting a clash of I-75 between the Bowling Green High School Bobcats hockey team and the Findlay Trojans. We're going to start that out at probably about 8:30 on Mixler. We'll start off with some pregame, and after the conclusion of the Bowling Green Lake Superior State game, we will switch to 88.1. So be sure to tune into that. That's a big game. Basketball.
The women's basketball team is on a 2-game losing streak. I believe they are now, 2-5 in the MAC?
Their starting lineup versus Ball State got held to a grand total of 14 points.
They did not have a good game at all against Ball State. But you know what? They did better than what team did I point out only was able to score 36 points against the UConn's women's team?
I forget, but I know
Any
what you're
Division
talking about.
1 team.
It was like a 90-something to 30-something game, and it was terrible. Anyway, women's basketball. And so, yeah, they are on a 2-game losing streak, losing to Ohio on Saturday and then Ball State on Wednesday. But they have an opportunity to turn it all around this weekend in the Battle of I-75, as they will be taking on Toledo with a tip-off at 2 p.m. pregame will be starting around 1:15 on Saturday here on Falcon Radio. I will be on the call with that one as well as Tom Cassidy, our colleague here at the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. Adam, you're doing color for ESPN3, correct?
I'm doing color for ESPN3, and I vow to try and do better in this
They
game.
got doubled up by Ball State.
Yeah, they got doubled up 82-41, but I vow to try and do at least a little bit better in this game than I did in the last one, and I am confident that I will have the window to be able to do so.
Looking at the schedule here, they need to go on a run. They really do. They've proven they can beat Penn State. I think they have the I think they have the potential to
Kent
beat
State?
Toledo. That's what I say.
Penn State.
Kent State, yeah. Based on how I looked at how Toledo plays, they have definitely the ability to beat Toledo if they can secure the paint.
You know, Toledo.
Kent State, Miami, Western Michigan will be a challenge. Northern, maybe they won't go on a run. I don't know. It's a team that started off 7-1. They need to find that groove again. Go ahead.
Toledo on Wednesday just lost their first home game in like 370 days.
Yeah, to Kent State.
To Kent State.
And Kent State's not particularly the best.
I think they're
MAC school.
So watch out for Toledo trying to take it out on us, on our team.
Well, it's the battle of I-75. It's going to be a close one.
Great.
Speaking of battle of I-75, the men's team will be traveling up to Toledo to play Toledo this weekend. Brennan Hall and Ryan Strobeck will be on the call for that one. Men's team coming off back-to-back losses to Central Michigan and Northern Illinois. I think that's it. Oh, baseball starts up soon.
Soon.
Yep. The schedule, the first game, and for that one will be a series opener and also the season opener at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So UAB.
They were in our hockey conference.
Yep. And so they'll do a 3-game weekend series on February 16th through the 18th, and that'll be the start to the hockey season. And we don't play a home game until we play Fort Wayne on March 13th.
Yep. And I think that'll just about do it. Any final thoughts from Avery or I forgot your name again?
Lane.
I'm very bad with names. Any final thoughts?
I guess I just want to thank you guys for letting us, kind of stay on the show,
seriously.
give our input. Yeah, looking up to start our own soon, maybe see if everything falls through. But
thanks for letting us talk about the esports, even though it's not really related to any of this.
I mean, you could get a following for that on this campus anywhere. Anything else?
Shout out to Paul Campanella's Pike Creek Automotive. It doesn't say where it is, but below it, they put a sign up that says, "We fix cars better than the Patriots fix games."
Ooh,
got him.
I saw that the other day. My final thought is don't be dumb like Marcus Smart and punch a picture frame and cut your hand open.
I'll do it.
The irony.
Jacob, take it away.
And with that will do it for this episode of Further Review. I'd like to thank Avery Collins and Lane White, correct, for joining us today. It was a great time having you. I'd also like to thank Ryan Strobeck, the executive director of the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization, along with... Why are you throwing in the sock? Along with Brendan Hall, the associate director, for allowing us to have time this week. I'd like to thank each and every one of you who tuned in today to hear this glorious train wreck we are luckily allowed to do every week. I'd like to thank Dr. Rick Bussell, the chairman of Media Production and Studies, along with Jim Barnes, the chief technical engineer of both 88.1 WBGU and Falcon Radio. And Ken Garland, the faculty advisor of the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. And that's going to about do it. So, for Adam Gall, Donovan Mann, Avery Collins, and Lane White, I am Jacob Seidel, saying, we are very sorry. Roll along, BG.
You're listening to Falcon Radio on HD2, WBGU 88.1, Bowling Green, Ohio.
I've been Wendy, living with the Lost Boys. You spent as a decade on the convoy, moved every night to prove we were something. Got confused if it was from a two that we were running. I've seen Gibraltar, I've seen the Taj Mahal, Soweto,